Hey, what's up, family? Um, I decided real quick to make a video about where my honesty comes from, why I keep it 100, and what triggered that. And honestly, I would say the main thing that triggered me to keep it 100 at all times, if possible. And if I'm unable to keep it 100 with my partners and my people that I connect with and communicate to, then it's always, I'm going to come to you the next day and keep it 300. You know what I mean? Because I'll even say, like, listen, yesterday, man, I was stretching this a little bit, stretching the truth a little bit. I was talking out of the side of my neck, maybe my testosterone was spiking up. I was just hyped up. Maybe I had too much caffeine in me. I don't even drink caffeine, but I'm just saying that's something that I would do, but that's not the way I always was. I wasn't always an honorable man. I consider myself to be honorable. And the basis of that is integrity, how I treat people, every relationship I enter, even doing business. I have good days and bad days, but every person that I connect with, it's always going to be a bond of love first. I'm not coming to initiate or start a relationship with someone with anything other than my heart. So know off the bat that I'm already obligated emotionally to you, to be honest, from my perspective, the code that I live by, right? And I became this way because I found out that, when I was growing up, I was a pathological liar. In other words, I was a lying ass nigga. I was always ashamed of how poor my family was and not having this, not having that, all the lacks, lacking so much. I was always lying. And then like lying to my closest friends, lying to niggas just to kick it. And, thinking back, it even pisses me off. It makes me feel shameful. There are a few things that I think back on my past that really upset me. The things that really upset me the most are, one, lying to people that I love, and two, avoiding any form of responsibility when it was offered to me in any job or professional fashion, or even in the streets. And there were times I turned down like supervisor positions and I shouldn't have. And I should have taken a leadership position. So, shit like that really bothered me. So the lying especially, dishonorable shit. I was lying to my big brother, my mom, just dishonest as fuck, man. And eventually I discovered that it wasn't just me. You know what I'm saying? It was genetic. And I'm not going to blame genetics, but I'm just saying that it was genetics because my father at the time that he created me, he was on the run from the police for murder. So he lived his life as a lying ass nigga after that. You know what I'm saying? He had to lie about everything. And so when I was growing up, my mom told me my father lied to her so much. And he told her so many lies that she bought into, sold her so many dreams. And I guess that shit turned to a gene because like my older sister on his side, she has 22 or 23 felonies. And most of them are crimes of dishonesty, lying. And I used to be a jack boy, scamming and shit, And then I thought like, damn, I'm a lying, no good, dishonorable ass nigga. Or at least one part of me is. And I was looking in the mirror and I had to make a decision. And it was like, I can't keep lying to people I love. I got to kill that nigga and just keep it real. And they either are going to accept me for being the nigga that's always the butt of all jokes, being in last place, having the poorest family, having the most busted up shoes, wearing the same clothes, being smelly or whatever the fuck the case might be. You know what I'm saying? They either just going to have to accept that real part of me or they not, And apparently they've already accepted it to me. So I'm doing them a disservice by lying to them. So I owe them better. So, it got to a point where, I had to test that shit, pressure test it, and get rid of that lying ass nigga inside of me. I say I ejected him from my body and killed him. You know, in other words, you know what I mean? But, thankful to my father, it created a gene in me to be as honorable as I can. And I really mean that. Like, with everything I do, I mean that shit in honor. And every action I take, I mean that shit in honor. Every word that I speak or write or communicate, it comes from a place of honor. And I noticed even when I was in the military, the times that I broke rules, got other people in trouble for my bullshit, even when we were under investigation, we had a issue during my wartime deployment where we were under investigation. And a part of that shit was based upon me. And when I think back on shit like that and all the other times I've been caught up in any other shit, I noticed that I always came out on top whenever I was completely honest and as honorable as I could be when the time called for it. So there's going to come a time when that gun might get put in your face and you only have your words to defend yourself. And if your words aren't honorable, you could be dead. That's how I had to start looking at my life. And so the other part is like, look, I also don't know when God is going to decide to use the vessel of the person who I'm talking to. So say I'm talking to a person and I think that I'm just talking to some random person, but what if that's God who created this universe, who decided to use that person's vessel to talk to me? And I'm lying to him. That's truly dishonorable. The other part about it is intuition. Like, there are people out here who have strong intuition. There are women who give birth to babies and they know exactly what that child is doing in the next room. They don't even need eyes on them. They don't need no baby monitors and shit because their intuition communicates back and forth between the child. So if a person can do that, and they even made a movie about it, Jack Nicholson called it Shining, right? Where we communicate without using our words. So if a person can do that, I never know when I'm around them. What good does it do for me to lie to them with my mouth when I've already communicated to them intuitively the truth? It makes me look like shit twice. And 3 times if it was God inside the body. So shame on the old person I used to be. Fuck that old nigga I used to be. I'm glad I killed him. And hopefully y'all learned something about me. And why I'm passionate for being honorable and honest. And like I said, if I stretch the truth ever or, come up with some bullshit, I promise you the next day or soon thereafter, I'm going to be like, yo, no, because I'm not going to get good sleep that night. That's the way God made me. You know what I'm saying? I'm wired that way. Peace and blessings. Love, y'all.